Hey, what's up, friends? Jason here again. Today I want to talk about a little thing. 28 days later, 28 weeks later. Some of you may know I'm a big fan of 28 Days Later, and we actually saw, my wife and I saw 28 Weeks Later in the theater back when it came out, and I wasn't really too impressed with it. I watched it, I was kind of disappointed. And then, everybody was talking about how great it was, and I rented it on Blu-ray when it came out. Watched it again and kind of felt, the same way about it, but saw a review here on YouTube and made me want to watch it again. Watched it again, and I gotta say I have a little more respect for it now. I can finally say that I think this is a good film. It's kind of like why mess with perfection? And I've always said that 28 Weeks Later is very similar to Alien, and then Aliens. It's kind of like the bigger, badder, better movie is what everybody tries to say. But the first one's directed by Danny Boyle, and it really had a feeling that the second one lacked. I think the whole, if you've seen 28 Days Later, you know what I'm talking about. I remember my brother and I saw 28 Days Later in the theater. I don't know if you guys remember, but it was released, and then it was actually released again with a different ending, and we actually saw both of those. We saw it with a different ending as well. And when the movie first starts, and it just hits the ground running when it first starts, and then it gets to a part where it's really slow paced for quite a little while. Once Cillian Murphy's character wakes up in the hospital, and it's just the pacing in that movie is what's so great. It's like so quiet for that. It's like a good 5 minutes, and he's just absorbing what's happened around him, and that's part of the film, I think, is what makes it so great. That's the part. And, of course, you've got the unique look of the zombies when they're running, which is part due to the shot on video, one of the first major shot on video features. And I don't know. I mean, I got to say, I do like this film a lot more. We watched it the other night, and the one complaint I have about it is the sound. It's like most of the scenes, it's so quiet, like the characters are almost whispering. But then when the action starts up, it's like loud as fuck, and it's like I had like the damn thing turned up all the way, and like I've got like a pretty small subwoofer. It's only like an 8, and it's like shaking the walls, and I could barely even hear it when they were actually talking, and then it's shaking the walls when the action starts. So it sounded good, but I think the quiet scenes, the whispering scenes, should have been amplified a little bit or something, because it's kind of about to blow my speakers just trying to hear the damn thing. But yeah, I just think the characters are not nearly as memorable in Weeks. Very forgettable. I do like the concept of the boy and his mother being somewhat immune to the virus. Adds a nice twist to it, and I don't know. I feel better about it, at least. I know they have I guess 28 months later is what the next one's going to be called, but it's set for 2011 release. I think it's 2011. That may get pushed back to 2012, but really looking forward to it. As long as Danny Boyle has his hands in it, I'm down. Because Danny Boyle, I know now, is like, big time. But, I was, a fan of his a long time ago. Back in the early 90s, I remember watching tons of his films in the theaters and just, loving them. But now he's, moving on to bigger and better things with Slumdog. But I don't know. Great director. It's nice to see a good director get the props he deserves instead of, all these shitty hack, music video directors getting all the awards and stuff. But I feel better about the film than I did originally. But as I said, you can't mess with perfection right here. This is one of the best films I've ever seen in my life, and I stick to that. Just awesome film all around. Every second of it is amazing. And all right, guys, I just wanted to ramble a little bit about that. Thanks for watching. Peace.